Your boy Jeff Lokes here, Becoming the Beast podcast. Car rant. I'm in Los Angeles right now. I just got finished working for a major brand, and it was amazing. Everything was so professional, and they had tailors on deck. It was the first brand that I worked for that, if something was ill-fitting, they, normally when a brand, they usually get the samples in, and if the samples are ill-fitting, they're just like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to, make do with what's there, or if something it's not your size, too big, too small, it's just whatever. These people had 2 tailors on deck. I was like, whoa. But yeah, really big brand I worked for, signed a non-disclosure, so I can't even disclose the brand. Couldn't post anything, which was very odd for me. But again, stepping up, next level vibe. That campaign will be out, and you'll know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. Yeah, Los Angeles, 9:12 p.m. Day 27 of the fast. I feel amazing, and as I broke it at Slat Down Jamaican Grill out here in Studio City. My man Chef Tony, shout out to Chef Tony. If you in LA, Studio City, go see my man. Tell him Jeff Lokes sent you, for real. Like, it's amazing yard food, you know what I mean? That's what I grew up on, so it's a good thing to have a taste of New York style Jamaican cuisine in Los Angeles. But anyway, so I'm sitting here talking to a guy, and I swear it was like a divine encounter. We sat there again, someone I don't know. Him and I, again, similar ages and stuff. We sat there and talked for 2 hours. Found out we both had 3 boys. I got a 13-year-old. He has a 12-year-old. Then he has a younger son, then a new son that's 15 months. And I'm just like, bro, we're on that same path. He went on some journeys when it comes to psychedelic. He said in the psychedelic journey, something came to him, and an entity came to him. I don't know if it was an extension of himself or something like that, which normally it is. Higher self, lower self, whatever, just a self that already experienced things, a self from another dimension that is an observer, and it was like, do you want the women? And it showed him what it's like having the women. And then it was like the woman that he wanted, the one that was his vibratory match, the one that was on his frequency, he wanted so bad, but wasn't ready for her yet, and didn't really understand what he had to do to get there until he did it and met this vibrational match that he knew right away. It wasn't a, let me see how this goes. It was like a vibratory frequency that you could feel, a high vibe, right away. And then the second thing was the money. And I guess this entity showed him jewels and, material possessions, and, anything he wanted was just at his hands. And as he, kind of a golden touch type of mentality. And then it just wasn't fulfilling for him. And then he showed him power, where it was all the big people in the world, the top of the top, the decision makers, the people who control everything. He was in a room with them, and they looked to him. And when they looked and turned to him, it was he who they were asking for the answers. So he said raw power felt insane. And then I added to him, and I said, well, what if we always possess this raw power, and we give it little pieces of this power until we're just filled with holes in our power to these things, to these people, to these material things, to these items, to these whatever we're giving it to. And then again, we talked about putting time into things, and how you can, be sitting there talking to a billionaire, and if the billionaire gives you a certain amount of his life, because we said we don't talk in terms of time, we talk in terms of life. How much life are you giving this person? How much life is this person giving you? So if this person gives you an hour of life, of their life, right? You can calculate how much that bit of life that they gave you is worth on a monetary sense, how much value they bring to the earth, how much money they accumulate and earn. So you can figure out your hourly life rate. And to some people, it's something very shocking. It's some people it's very low. But again, that's on a monetary scale that we were just talking about, because we were talking in terms of money. It was just cool to talk to somebody else that was high vibratory. And when you talk to somebody that's high vibratory, you just know. How many times have you just felt like you needed to say something to somebody, or you needed to call somebody, or you talked to a stranger, or how you met your significant other or your best friend or whoever. Those vibratory matches are undeniable, completely completely undeniable, and they're like, it's like a strong magnet that just attracts one thing to the other. Or even if it's two people on the same vibe, you know. Why do you think when you go to a club, everybody's having the best time of their life? You know, they go to a Latin club. Why? Because they want to hear the Latin music. They want to, you know, have the Latin, you know, themed drinks and all that. They want to see people who like Latin music. So then everybody's having a good Latin time. You know what I mean? And I only used the Latin club as an example because that was one of the first clubs I worked at when I was a security officer over there in Connecticut. Shout out to my man Sheldon, gave me my first job, $50 a night. Yeah, I was big balling, boy. $50 a night, man. Then I progressed to 60, then 80. But yeah, so it was just real refreshing, like I said, having a high vibe talk, you know, and it just was, I don't know, there was just no judgment. Like all the judgment was just gone. What I pulled from his experience, and this is like reading a book. Everything's like reading a book. People are like reading a book, and ultimately it tells you what you are thinking or what stage you're at and what you need. And for me, I was like, man, if those things aren't the answer, which I know they're not the answer, but it's like, are we giving these things power? Are we giving these things time? Are we giving these things life where we don't need to? Because that shiny new thing, whatever it may be, it always loses its luster. Versus like something like a necessity, like food doesn't lose its luster. Like the last thing you ate that you really enjoyed, you know, you don't, you know, progress a month from now and say, oh, that meal wasn't really shit. You know, it's like, that's not how it is. It's like, you know, you get that new car, you keeping it clean every 5 minutes. You know, you're getting it washed, you're showing everybody, and then it just kind of gets old, and then they make a new model, and then you're just kind of over it, you know? I would like to say we need to be aware of what we're putting our life into, what we're putting our time into, and finding more fulfillment out of life, or just moving toward the things that fulfill us most, and defining those things, and then taking those things and doing more of those things, because we need to do more of the good, more of the great. I should have said great, because good is the enemy of great. Yes, good is the enemy of great. I got that quote from Chris Aceto, prep coach, through one of his clients that I was training with. Like I said, I don't know, I just had to get these thoughts out, you know. I had to get these thoughts out and kind of realizing, like, you know, there is a way to live in the end, already completing a task or something like that, and not necessarily have to experience it or even gamble on it, you know, because a lot of guys that I talk to, you know, just dudes that are just not focused or whatever, it's all women. How many chicks you bang? Yo, how many chicks in here? Yo, who you talk to? How many numbers you get? And it's like, that's not what it's about. I mean, at least not for me. Because for me, there's no real value in a quick sexual encounter that, what is it going to last? If you're a stud, 20 minutes, 25, 30 if you know, marathon man, an hour? It's a nice sweaty hour. You're going to get bored. Would you take a break in between and go get a sandwich? You know what I'm saying? So 5 to 12 minutes. And you're probably never going to see this young woman again. Or if you like men, you're probably never going to see him again. Whatever you like. For me, like racking up those numbers, like somebody saying like, yo, how many pennies you got in your pocket? It's like, what? I got 100 pennies. It's like, okay, you have $1. Congrats. But it's 100. Congrats, you know, finding those things that fulfill you, getting focused on your purpose, because there's bigger things out here than the things that you are giving your current focus to. Speaking of focus, just dropped a new product, Be Focused. Check that out, www.becomenutrition.com. But it's like you have to take inventory and be aware, and this is why there's a constant state of correction. Again, as I'm doing a car rant, there's a constant state of correction as you're driving down the street. You can be driving down the straightest path, the straightest street that there is. You're always moving that wheel back and forth, up and down. Even if I like driving with one hand. That's my swag. But like up and down, boom, boom, boom. Like you're always correcting that wheel, and you're on a straight road theoretically. You know, so that's the thing. You're constantly controlling your own wheel on a regular basis. So this is why you're always taking inventory and correcting, analyzing, and not in a state of being stagnant or not making any moves. Because like I said, this podcast is for you to go out here and apply this knowledge. And most of the knowledge starts out as just a different level, I can say level, because you know, these are the new thoughts that you weren't thinking. I like to think of the word and meditate on the word quintuple. Quintuple is multiplying something by 5. You know, if a lady has quintuplets, she had 5 children. Sextuplets is 6. So thinking about 5xing 5 times, what would your current income look like times 5? What would your current happiness look like times 5? What would your current negativity look like times 5? So I always think in terms of quintupling. Everybody, I'm about to double up. Nah, man, it's bigger than a double up. What happened if you know, the little interactions you do, the little bullshit you do, you had a coffee shop, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good, doing well, how you? What if you really had like a conversation with this person? Times 5 your social skills. Times 5 your resourcefulness. Times 5 your resources. What would happen to your life? Again, times 5 your happiness. Times 5 your health, your body. What will happen to your life? Times 5 your life. You know what I mean? Your finances, your love, your fulfillment out of life. The enjoyment you get out of small things. Then it makes you think, are they really small things or are they the big things? I remember I had there was a pillow in an old apartment that I had. And it was, I think it belonged to the girl I was with at the time. It was a pillow that said, a moment in your life you'll realize that it was the small things which were the big things, you know, and now it's making sense. What are you getting out of this? LA, I used to live here, and you know, the glitz and the glam and keeping up with the Joneses. If you're not familiar with the term, keeping up with the Joneses is having the latest this, the latest that, you know, judging and valuing yourself based on your material possessions. Now when I travel, I travel with shit. It's usually the clothes I got for free from the shoot, from a shoot somewhere. You know, the same shoes, keep them crazy clean. And it's like, you know, socks and drawers. Obviously, I have an abundance of those. I don't know. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm impressed. I impressed myself by, you know, personal record. That's where the impression is that's where you're going to impress yourself. That's where you're going to pat yourself on the back and create self-respect when you blow past personal records. I'm not just talking about in the gym. I'm talking about everywhere. No beast mode. That's no beast mode. Being a beast everywhere you are 24/7. But that's a whole nother podcast. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother podcast. Being in LA, La La Land, land of the, yo, rent this, rent that. You know, who are you? How can you help me? You know, and like I said, it's astonishing to have a genuine conversation in Los Angeles that didn't revolve around name dropping or what can you do for me? Like, what do you do for work? Like, how can what you do for work help what I do for work? Like, nah, you know, how can I use you? That's what they should just say. Like, I've met so many people that was just like, yo, how can I use you? You know, same thing with that Lamborghini. So, hey, but look, that's a whole other podcast. I'm gonna put you on to that. Trust me. Like I said, the video with Jeffrey went viral. So now I got to talk about it. But like I said, that's a whole other podcast. I might just do a podcast called Stolen Lamborghini. And remind me too, my podcast gang, my loyal podcast gang. Yo, listen, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, man. Make sure you support that. This episode will be free, but make sure you support that. You can go on Anchor. You could go on Spotify or anything like that. Just support your boys. $4.99 a month. That's nothing for you. You a baller. Remember that. Someone asked me today on live. I hopped on live in the middle of the booking, and somebody was like, you know, what is the biggest thing you invested in? He wants money. I said, man, listen. The biggest and best thing I've ever invested in was myself. What's the best self-help book? Myself. Open yourself up. Read yourself. And what you're going to read is your emotions, that emotion, that energy in motion. You know what tickles you. You know what jazzes you. You know what makes you horny in a sense, quote unquote. Material things, the foods, the type of people, you know, you got a type, you know. I ain't got no type, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you like. Why are you standing in your own way? That's what I want to know. Why are you giving other people the wheel to your car? We talked about this, and this is the repetition. This is the mental workout. Oh, look, Jeff's saying something he already said. Yeah, because it's a mental workout. When you work out, I got a heavy gym community in here. You work out. How many times you done been on the damn treadmill? So many times. How many times you been on the bike? Again and again and again and again and again and again and again. How many times you done been to the cupboard eating that bullshit? How many times you go in the grocery store and buy them motherfucking Nutter Butters and you shouldn't get them? You know what I mean? Or the Little Debbie's. This is repetition. Why are you in your same position? Why not even in the same position? Why are you in the position that you're in right now? Repetition. This is why I have to not necessarily beat this in your head, but just remind you to apply this information, remind you to take notes, and as you're taking notes, say, how am I going to apply that to my life? Because this is not just easy for the listening. I'm not just here just like, yo, bro, like, let's chop it up, bro. Nah, man, I'm trying to level you up. And the only reason why I use the word try is because it's on you to do the second part. Somebody say, you saved my life. Last week, I thought I was about to end it all. I said, listen, you saved your life. I just gave you a nudge. If I'm your spotter, you doing all the work. If I'm your trainer, you doing all the work. I take pride in that. I take pride in that responsibility of being your mental trainer, of being, you know, a distant mentor. Yeah, I have, you know, one-on-one clients, and, you know, a one-on-one video call with me is upwards to $1,000. I mean, it's on sale right now for half price, but like my time and my life is valuable. And the people that invest in their own life by investing in my life, they always win. Whether it's the products, whatever it is. whatever it is, they always end up winning, right? And this is what I refer to when I say taking inventory. And this is when I say when you learn yourself, knowing yourself makes the difference. Knowing yourself is knowing the difference. Knowing yourself is knowing your strength. You ever went over a speed bump? You know how you just know that your car is good? Going over that thing like it's not going to total your vehicle. Sometimes you forget. You go over it a little bit too fast. Oh, shit, damn, speed bump. Oh, boom, boom. You got to know yourself like you know your car. You got to know yourself like you know your celebrity. You got to know yourself like you know your Instagram page. You got to know yourself like you know your passcodes. Do you know yourself is the question. And if you don't, it's fine. Because guess what? You get to explore. You get to explore. I was telling my younger brother, he's in the process. Well, not in the process. He's selling his brand, right? It's called Small City Kids Up Next. Superfly saying. He's been saying that since 2017, I think. We're talking about the brand, and he's talking about where he wants it to be, right? Where he wants it to go versus where it is right now. And I'm like, bro, that's the exciting part. That's like a sandwich. You got the bread at the beginning, the bread at the end, but what's inside makes it that type of sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the fun part. Now you get to be like, yo, I get to do whatever I want. If you never did it before, you get to be the first one in your own creative circle to create. Gorgeous position you're in. Your life's not happening to you, it's happening for you. I will say that again. Your life's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Oh, this happened to me. This happened to me. Look at me. Look what happened to me. But I know, okay, I heard about you, but guess what happened to me? 10 times worse. It didn't happen to you, happened for you. Happened for you. People ask for all these things, pray for all these things, right? Pray for this thing, and the Most High prepares you, and you want to know why you're getting tested. Like, come on. You just ask for this massive thing, right? Oh, I want to be this massive leader. Guess what? Most massive leaders go through trials and tribulations. So here's yours. Oh, but no, I wanted the. Oh, you wanted the easy route. Oh, because what's attained on the easy route? Come on. If everything's the easy route, you might as well just go get you a lotto ticket. Quit your job and go get a lotto ticket. Why wouldn't you do that? Oh, you're not going to quit your job and get a lotto ticket, are you? Why? Because it don't work like that. But you want to use that lotto ticket mentality on your life and on your goals? No. Well, that's not how money works. That's not how law of attraction works. That's not how your dream, goal, and plan works. Are you playing scratch-offs with yourself? Are you treating your goal like a scratch-off? You go to your job and work. Everybody has a job. Even if you don't have no job, that's your job. Work towards what you really want. Network. Open your mouth. I don't know what to do. Okay, cool. Well, you know what's not working is this. So think the new thoughts. And getting down to the source, getting down to the bottom of what the new thoughts are is, again, the fun part. Is you have to visit your dark places. In the dark places where you shine the light. You bring the light down there, you know? And it's okay. I was talking to my chiropractor buddy. He cracked me up. He cracked me up when I was in the rock. Cracked me up proper. Let loose of all that. Like, I would say, chiropractor, you let off some negative energy when you're getting cracked, and that relief comes through in places that are just like tension. I was holding tension. You ready? It was in my right trap, like in the middle of my back. Felt like it was a golf ball back there. Like I couldn't shake it. Like, oh man, it was crazy. But that might be where I hold my tension at. You know? So we had to release that. And boy, did it feel good when that happened. So, but I was talking to him, and he was just like, he's like, yeah, man, I got in a little rut, right? Like just mentally, he's a strong individual, very strong individual, leads his family, but, you know, leads his business as well. But it's like, I said, dog, you needed to go through. He's like, I didn't want to do nothing. I said, good. And you shouldn't. What do you do when you fall asleep or falling asleep at the wheel? You either get to a hotel, you either pull over and go to sleep, or you get to your house. It's time to lay it down. You know? So it's like, but there's a difference. Again, this is when it comes to knowing yourself, knowing the difference between you being in a rut where you need to like observe your emotions and make decisions based off them, or if you're just feeling lazy. And those are questions you only can answer, and you have to be real with yourself. Like I said, slow and steady does not mean fat and lazy. Slow and steady is one of the fastest ways you will get there. You know, you take off in a race, Lamborghini versus a Fiat. Lamborghini jumps off the deck, right? Goes fast, boom. 6 gears, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, right? 640 horsepower, baby. Lamborghini, they just made Lamborghini Technica, right? They done changed the front on me. It's all good. Lamborghini jumps off the deck, winning. Boom, crashes. The Fiat just come up, I don't know, doing 60, 0 to 60 in what? A minute? I don't know, sorry. If you got a Fiat, man. I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's slower than the Lambo. They still swagged out. Their commercials was really sexy. The Fiat commercials were sexy. I give them that. And I never drove one. I'm just hating. I'm being a hater. I can be a hater against cars. Not against people, but against cars I can. But that Fiat will win the race when the Lamborghini is quote-unquote superior in a sense of technology, in a sense of just raw horsepower, performance. But slow and steady, baby. Slow and steady will beat fast and out of control any day. Where you are is not where you got to end up. I'll say it again. Just like I said it in the video when I called my life out, when I was outside of Syracuse moving trucks. You ever see them trucks, the big orange trucks that say Syracuse on them? You know what they do? They bring you into a mansion. Okay? You know what they used to do? Bring me into a mansion. You're sitting around with a bunch of felons, right? Because you're getting paid cash money. Didn't make the NFL. You heard? NFL reject. Didn't make it. What? You know why I didn't make it? Because I wasn't fucking good enough. Because if I was good enough, I would be in the NFL right now. I wasn't good enough, and I'm at peace with that. You know why? Because I tried every single thing I could. Traveled, Arena Football League, getting cut here, getting cut there, not good enough. Coach is telling me I'm not good enough. Changing myself, losing weight, boom, 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 going here, going there, getting training. Wasn't good enough. I'm at peace with it. You know why? Because I tried everything I could. So you go in there, and it's like a lottery. Again, remember we just talked about lottery ticket shit. Stop treating your life like a lotto ticket. You wouldn't quit your job and go scratch off tickets for a living. You know what I mean? So don't treat your dream like that. So basically, wake up in the morning around 6 o'clock. Make sure you got some food with you because there ain't no guarantee you're going to be near a store. It ain't no guarantee none of the hosts, not even the host, but the family that you move in is going to have any food or any water. You got to protect your neck out there. So I bring my little lunchbox with the little cold pack in the bottom. You know, the old school zipper joints that you used to fucking carry in school. Little Walmart joints. 6 in the morning. Boom. Go over there. And I'll get my running done beforehand, right? You're in the room with all these people. Nobody's on the books, bro. Nobody's on the books, man. Then the drivers come in, and they got their favorites. Yo, I'm gonna pick you. They used to call me Hercules. Call me Herc. And then when I was in Hartford on Park Street, they called me Dominican Hercules because I was in the Dominican part. They called me Dominican Hercules, right? I was on Park Street making pizzas, boy. Oh my goodness. They'll pick you for the job. Hercules, come on, let's go. We out. We about to go move a mansion. Cool. So you ride on the 18-wheeler. Right? Some of them 18-wheelers is the driver, passenger, then it's the backseat, then it might be a bed above the driver's head or even just like behind them. Right? Trucking is different. It's different, right? So you drive the 18-wheeler down, right? Only thing on the truck is pads and bungee cords and like dollies, right? And maybe the four-wheeler dollies. So you come to a house that is a mansion. I don't know, 5,000-6,000 square feet with a garage and everything else, just like a normal ass house has. You walk around with the owner with a piece of paper and they're like, oh, this goes, that goes, this stays, that goes, this goes. Everything in the house. Guess what? Guess how much of the house is packed already? None of it. You pack these people's forks, knives, clothes, underwear, socks, jewelry, everything. Some people do their own jewelry, but some people, you know, if it's not something really, really expensive like costume jewelry, they'll let you pack it. Packing everything. You're wrapping their couches. You're taking the legs off their couches. You're wrapping the pillows, and then you're covering them in pads, so none of the corners, and then you're taking tape over those pads. And you put all of that strategically on a truck. It might be 4 people, because the driver ain't touching nothing. Because you know what he is? A driver. And you know what you are? A mover. There's a difference. So you pack this person's house up, and then you move it on a truck, and then you drive that truck to their new residence. Sometimes it would be like, you know, crazy far out of state, like a, you know, cross-country move. But if it was in the same state, sometimes it'll be in a tri-state area, so you go from like CT to like New York City, or you go to like Long Island, or you go to like, you know, like a Vermont or something like that, like Massachusetts or something like that, right? And Rhode Island. And it's like you move this person's house off of the truck and like set this person's house up. You know how long that takes? And you might do all of that for like $80, bro. Oh my gosh. Maybe a hundo, right? Maybe the owners might tip you if they really ball like that. I remember one dude, he was passing out hundreds like it was going out of style. Shout out to him. He was a boss. That's how I move now, you know? And it was such a motivating time for me where I was like, man, I was like, I'm gonna have a mansion like this. And I would walk around the house, I would be at the person's house, and I'd be so excited because I knew where I was. It wasn't where I was gonna end up. Walking around, I was like, yo, I will move this, like, I will have this room like this, and I will set it up like this. And, just like imagining this was my house and these was my movers. And I was like, when I do my house and my move, I'm gonna help the movers out because I did it already. And that's what the fuck I did. I called dude. I was like, yeah, I got like this, whatever. I got a gym or whatever. And like when I moved, I ended up packing up pretty much the whole house. Like beforehand, just because I said what I was going to do. When you do what you say, that is a superpower. When you do what you say and say what you do, that is a superpower. Remember I talked about PR's personal record? That's fulfillment. When you do something, you're going to say, you know why? Because that's between you and you. You don't got to tell nobody. That is a fulfilling. You go, yeah. That's the pat on your back, like, word, yeah, we out here, yeah, we outside with it, right? So I would do that. The moving back and forth, moving people was a necessity. It was a necessary time in my life. It was on my journey. You want a mansion? You want to live in a house that's 10,000 square feet, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 square feet? So look, I'm going to bring you around them, the Most High, the universe, the Holy Spirit. I'm going to bring you around all this stuff that you say you want. And I'm going to show you what goes into it. Because the first thing I'll do, go to the owner. What you do? What you do for work? Oh, we got a company. Oh, we do this. Oh, I'm an NFL coach. Oh, I'm this. I'm that. And I'm like, this is amazing. All different type of people. All different ethnicities, everything. Different styles, different swags. Some people real gaudy. Some people really modest. Some people, nice cars. Like, it was just such an eye-opening experience. And I wouldn't change anything. Now that you go back, a lot of people say, oh, what would you tell your 23-year-old self? And I'm like, what? I like my position. It's cool. My life is a cool life. So I wouldn't tell that 23-year-old nothing. Now we talking about my son. I'll tell my sons different things. But that one, no. He needed to go through all of those phases. All of those phases to get to this guy right here that you're listening to on a podcast. Again, your life's not happening to you. It's happening for you. For your good. For your betterment. For your advancement towards whatever goal you ask and pray for. Remember, I told you you're in a constant state of prayer. You get everything you ask for. Sometimes you're asking for bullshit. Sometimes you're asking for negativity. Sometimes you're asking for problems. You get everything you ask for. So you better go inside of your mind and clean up. You know how good it feels when your house is clean, when your body's clean, when your car's clean? Anything, any area. I just got a manicure, pedicure because I had to get one for this shoot, right? Even that felt amazing. And somebody was in live today. Yo, when you drop in another podcast, it's like, I got you. Don't even worry about it. He charging us now. He charging us. I said, boy, you are typing me on a phone you paid for. A phone. You bought this $1,000 phone and it don't even have service on it. And then you got to go get a service provider. So it's not even a phone. It's just a device at that point when you buy it because it don't dial out. And you got to go put service on it. And you pay for that service so two people can talk. So when I make a service, you don't want to pay for it? Treat me like Apple. Yeah. Treat Big Logs like Apple, baby. I'm creating too. You're just more familiar with me because you see me on the gram. You hear my voice. I'm helping you through some stuff. We laugh. We get motivated. We do discipline. I'm leading the way, right? Give me that respect. Go subscribe. Support. That's why I like to say I don't have fans, bro. That to me, that's like a diss. Like, I don't know. I don't have fans. I have supporters. I have brothers and sisters and cousins. Like, we all family here. That's why I be like, yo, podcast fam, Instagram fam, YouTube fam, Twitter fam, all of that. And that's how it is. Because if I can play a very small role in your mindset being shifted in a positive direction, I'm doing my job. I'm doing what I'm destined, what keeps me up at night. What I wonder about, like, am I doing enough for people? Am I fulfilling what I'm supposed to do? If I can do that, if I can nudge you in the right direction, or at least lead you in the right direction, or at least, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, man. That's that, And it's just the feedback lets me know I'm doing a good job at it, and the rankings of the podcast and the success of the podcast. Because I didn't plan for this. I didn't say, oh, it's going to be the number one pod. No. You don't do that shit. And that's the bridge, not bridge building theory. That's a whole nother podcast. But the whole nother podcast t-shirt's coming out soon. The bricklaying theory that You don't set out to go build this massive, I'm going to build the biggest, baddest brick wall in the world, man. Watch, I'm going to show all these motherfuckers. No, you lay this one brick so perfectly that it just can't be fucked with. So imagine a day that you have, discipline with your eating, your training, your thinking, your relationships, your dwelling space, your car. All your spaces are clear. Breeding a clear mind, breeding more clearness, breeding you becoming this beast that you're supposed to be. Think about having days like that. What would you be doing today, right? So this day, right here, what would you be doing right here, right now? You already achieved your goals, whatever, a year from now. So if you go to a year from now, travel there mentally, and then look back till today. What would you be doing today to get to that point? What would you be doing today if you achieved all your goals by tomorrow? Shit, you'd be doing a whole hell of a lot different shit that you did today. You still might fuck with my podcast, but you know what I'm saying? So when you go to the end, when you visit the end, you don't stay there, and you don't dismiss the current moment for the next moment. Oh, watch, I'm gonna get that BMW. No, it's like, what would I be doing today? Shit, I probably would sit back and enjoy the day. Not like kick your feet up and not do shit, but like enjoy the process of going into that job, clocking in, talking to everybody. I'm not coming in here with a bad attitude. You know why? Because that takes more energy from me. Because your body, everything wants to be healthy. Your life, you want to be nice, you want to be happy, and it's usually you in your own way with resistance. So I need you to get up out of your own way, right? First step. And allow, get the fuck out the way. Allow, get the fuck out the way. You and anybody else who's in the way. Move. Y'all know the song, move, bitch. You know the song. Come on. I need you to be the main character. I need the main character energy in your life. I need you to stop doing the lotto ticket shit in your life, because you won't fuck with it with work. You won't quit your job and do a lotto ticket. You won't give your car up and then go testing the door of every car you see on the street and hoping the keys are in there and the car's unlocked. You don't live your life like that, so why are you approaching your goals like that? Don't. Your boy, Becoming the Beast. It's been brought to you by Become Nutrition, Logan Performance, and No Beast Smoke Clothing. MBM update. MBM's coming out very, very soon. There's a lot of groundwork going into it. I'm going to do a whole podcast on that, but that's a whole nother podcast. Logan Performance apps, popping www.loganperformance.app. Become Nutrition, www.becomenutrition.com. And the podcast, you can subscribe and you can show love, you can support, you can donate. Yeah, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate your time, your life, for listening to this and rocking with me, posting me, promoting me. And I really, really enjoy hearing what you pull from this shit. Like when y'all go to my Instagram or when you repost the podcast, like some days y'all have my podcast going crazy. Like it's like repost after repost after repost after repost after repost after repost after repost. And it's like I feed off that. It gives me energy. You say all this stuff, oh, Big Lo, you did this for me, you did that for me, I changed my mindset, shift my family, changed their mindset. No. You don't know what you do for me. And one day I'll be able to explain that. I'll be able to explain that in person to you. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in attendance to any of this Fit Expos. I'm not sure about doing any pop-ups, but they're in the works. They're in the works because there's a lot of things moving on the back end. I love you. And I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Becoming the Beast, your boy.